Yo, what's going on, my people? It's your boy Uche with another video. I'm still here in Portugal. I done walked miles to try to find this little park so I can do my thing. And there's some kids behind me playing music. I'm trying to talk, man, but it's hard to travel and talk your shit. But through God who strengthens me, I'm going to talk my shit. So let's get it. I want to talk about the language of if you know, you know. Okay? If you've been watching a lot of my videos, you probably have heard me say if you know, you know a lot. Okay? The language of if you know, you know. I want to break it down to people why I use that language of if you know, you know. I don't know if you guys can hear it. This is the same noise they were making in the other place. This is like I feel like I've walked at least 5 miles now. The exact same sound has found me. I'm telling you guys. Can you hear it? Ha! Chidekena. Oh, when him naga hono wanka. Oh, when him naga hono wanka. Like I've been chilling here for a while, trying to make sure there's no noise whatsoever. And as soon as I start recording, boom. If you know, you know. Okay? If you know, you motherfucking know. But we move. Let's talk about this if you know, you know. Now, if you know, you know is what I choose to call it. Okay? It goes by so many terminologies, and I'm gonna break down some of those terminologies. I try not to use those terminologies because they have been so heavily bastardized. And I'm gonna explain to you why they have been bastardized, and I'm gonna explain to you why I prefer my own if you know, you know, because it gets the message across. If you know, you know, it's literally that. You either know it or you don't know it. If you know it. If you don't know, you don't know. You cannot pretend to know it. It's just impossible. Think about it like a literal language. English. You either know English or you don't know English. You can pretend to be speaking English, but people who speak English can tell that you are not speaking English. You ain't fooling nobody, and they'll react to you accordingly. They might not make fun of you. Maybe the younger people might make fun of you, but they'll react to you accordingly as somebody who is disingenuous, who's performative, and all kinds of shit. You either know English or you don't know English. You can speak English with a different accent, but is it still comprehensible English? The exact same thing. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. And again, it goes by many languages, just like literally English goes by many languages. In French, I think English is called anglais. In Spanish, I think it's called inglés. In Igbo, it's called beke. But it's still the same English. English people just choose to call what they speak English. Just like I choose to call this, if you know, you know, goes by many languages. Got that? The Bible calls it its own language, okay? The Bible calls it speaking in tongues. I don't call it that for a couple of reasons. Let me break it down to you, Chad. My Nigerian people, pay attention. Because you know our pastors, Sheri Babankiri, Father Lord, if you see Nigerian pastors speaking in tongues, prophesying year of miracle, Sheri Babababa. We thank God. Anyway, Chad. So I don't know the particular Bible verse or Bible verses per se. Maybe I should just, look it up and post them on here if I have time during the editing of this video. But the point of speaking in tongues is you get possessed by the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is speaking through you, and only people who are possessed by the Holy Spirit, just like you, will understand what you're saying. Everybody else hears gibberish. Okay, they hear all kinds of gibberish. Now, yes, I know some of these dusty ass pastors in Nigeria will argue that I hear gibberish because I'm not possessed by the Holy Spirit. You know, they say that I have demonic possession. We thank God. Father Lord Almighty. Motibo, I better get away you there. Look, Nigerian pastors are scammers. I hope you know. Believe in Nigerian pastor at your own detriment. But we thank God. Sure. But like I said, it's supposed to be that. That's exactly what it is. I think the issue is that a lot of people lack the ability to read the Bible with spiritual discernment, and people take a lot of things literally. Okay, completely forgetting the fact that this Bible was written thousands of years ago by people who are illiterate based on our own standard of literacy. Okay, they're illiterate. These are people who didn't even use toilet papers. They don't know what the fuck toilet paper is. People who didn't even shower. Okay, like, let's keep it real. I don't think people understand how very dirty Europeans used to be. And once upon a time, they didn't have showers in their houses. Okay, that's how the whole concept of bathhouses came to be. It's a European thing. Once a week or once a month, depending on how much you can afford, Chad, you go to a bathhouse and take baths. You didn't take baths in your own homes. Okay, that's even just before colonization, or maybe during the time of colonization, okay, people didn't have toilets in their houses. They would have to, there's like a central place where they go to take a shit, especially like, for example, in London, people would take a shit and the shit would be flushed down to the Thames River or whatever the situation is. Look it up, okay? It was so bad that the Thames River, or River Thames, whatever, whichever name it's called, was filled with so much feces, and the entire city of London stunk so bad. It stank so bad, so bad. Look it up if you don't believe me. And that wasn't even that long ago. That was like a couple hundred years ago. Imagine what was going on back in the day, like 1,000, 2,000, whenever the fuck the Bible was written, 5,000 years ago. People were illiterate, okay? Yes, divine inspiration by God, that's true. That part is true. But you have to read the Bible with spiritual discernment. The beautiful thing about the apostles, like I'm going to do a breakdown as to how Jesus chose his disciples, okay? The beautiful thing about these disciples, Jesus knew this, is that these disciples speak the language. Either speak it or they can learn it. And he was going to teach them that. If you know, is everywhere. Another name for it is mathematics. I've also used mathematics. It's everywhere. But you have to see it. If you don't see it, you don't see it. It's the truth, the ultimate truth. It is right there. You can try to cover it all you want, not a problem, but it will still be there. It cannot die. It is impossible for it to die. And this is how the Bible is written. The Bible is loaded with so many if you know, you know. This is why the Bible, in spite of the fact that it has been translated so many times, all kinds of additions and subtractions, where all those things, there's still so much if you know, in the Bible. It reeks of it. But in order for you to get that concrete truth of if you know, you have to read the Bible with spiritual discernment. Lean not on your own understanding alone. Spiritual discernment, because if you read the Bible without spiritual discernment, you will hear something else. Gibberish, okay? Like a lot of people who claim to be speaking in tongues is gibberish. You must read the Bible with spiritual discernment, because there's so many if you know, Don't read it literally and lean not on your own understandings alone, okay? So it used to be in the past, back in the day, Chad, like during the time of the Bible, because a lot of people weren't literate, okay? I think the original Bible was written in Hebrew, Aramaic, or some shit, like, I don't know, maybe Greek, I don't know. But a lot of people weren't educated enough to read the Bible, and also they didn't trust their own understanding. So they would always go to church, the synagogue, or whatever it is they had, right? Or the imam or the spiritual leader to read and interpret the Bible for them, because you're not supposed to lean on your own understanding. But even at that, I think this is also written in the Bible. I haven't seen it. Even at that, you should still listen to your preachers with spiritual discernment, because at the end of the day, your preachers are still humans. There will always be elements of their human fallibility in their words that they speak, myself included, okay? You shouldn't hold on to my words. I speak a lot of if you know, okay? But if you focus on me as an individual, I'm just a vessel, okay? Without the Spirit of God speaking through me, bitch, I sound dumb as shit. I'm not even trying to be funny. I sound dumb, diddy, dumb. The day I realized this, it's like getting caught with my pants down. Let me shut up, Chad. This is the Holy Spirit speaking through me. But if you hold on to my words, you miss the fucking point. You will see my distortion. You're holding on to my accent. You're holding on to my my verbiage, my sentences. You're holding on to my Nigerianness. You're holding on to my face, my skin color, and all kinds of shit. You miss the fucking point. So fast forward to today, okay, where I guess freedom of speech and I guess capitalism is taking over the world and things like that. It's gotten so bad to the point that it's unfortunate. If you want to start business in Nigeria, start a fucking church. This is how sad it is that anybody can be a man of God or a woman of God. And everybody's reading all kinds of nonsense without humility, without any type of discernment whatsoever, and just leading people astray. You miss the point. So this is why your pastor and the pastors in Nigeria know that there's so much pain, so much emptiness, so much mediocrity that the people are reeking from, post-traumatic slave syndrome that my black people are reeking of, and they take advantage of that by giving you a show. This is why you go to all these churches and they do shit, and inside your head you say prophesy, pastor, prophesy with it. My dear, y'all need to be careful some of these pastors y'all go to, because they're literally putting you in spiritual detriment. I'm not even joking about that. I'll break it down in a different video why you are probably safer with the real voodoo priest than a lot of y'all pastors. I'm not even joking about that. It's equivalent to you're better off going to the gym to be trained by a real certified personal trainer who knows what the fuck they're doing than your little buddy who printed out some type of certificate from online. If you know, you know. You people be careful with your pastors, because they are leading some of you people astray. But we thank God. Thank God for grace, yeah. We thank God. And that's why, me personally, I stay the hell away from that terminology of speaking in tongues, because it has been bastardized. Because essentially, that's what it is. You speak through the Holy Spirit, and people who are also possessed by the Holy Spirit will understand what you're saying, but to everybody else, it's gibberish. But that has been bastardized. Okay, so I stay the hell away from that. From that. It's also called something else. Okay, the military calls it Morse code. The exact same thing. When the military soldiers are talking, they're speaking plain English, plain whatever it is, in front of the enemy, but the enemy has no idea what they're saying. The enemy thinks that this American soldier is trying to order French fries and burgers. Hey, dude, can I get some French fries and burgers? I want it extra crispy. French fry means something else. Burger means something else. Crispy means something else. Extra crispy means something else. To the German soldier who understands English, or at least they think they understand English, bitch, they don't know that a hit has been put on them. Something like that. The military calls it Morse code. You either know it or you don't know it. And only the people who speak that language will understand exactly what's going on. To somebody who doesn't speak that language, you will literally think that they're ordering French fries and crispy, extra crispy, whatever the situation is. The exact same thing. Literally the exact same thing. Morse code. The military calls it Morse code. Now, there's another one, which is actually more realistic. More truly realistic as to what it should really be called. But this one has been so bastardized. I think it's been bastardized more than every other terminology you want to call it. This is why I stay the absolute hell away from it, because it's so sad that it reeks of so much noise. And this is called the love language. The love language has been so bastardized. Uche, stay the fuck away from it. But if you know, you know. I don't even know who to blame. I don't know if I should blame this on America or the Western world or capitalism or the fucking celebrities that people like to worship, Hollywood. I don't fucking know who to blame. But the word love has been so bastardized, so commodified, that people think love is, I don't know, bouquet of flowers and, going to prom and, taking somebody to bodega, whatever the fuck. Buying somebody some fancy ass shit, you know what I'm saying? There's been books written about love language, some bullshit about 5 love languages, and, I saw affirmative action, not words of affirmation. What's the other one? Personal thoughts, all nonsense in that, Nina. That chat, please. Chat, fucking please. All that shit reeks of narcissism. Just narcissism. People capitalizing off your lack of knowledge of what is, Chad. But if you know, you know. Ooh, girl. Powers and principalities in higher places. I'm surprised that this. I'm surprised that this TikTok is even allowed me to do all these things. Father Lord Almighty. But yes, love has been so bastardized. But I define love different. My definition of love is coming back home to yourself. Let me break it down. Yin and yang come together to make one. The yin and the yang must come together to make one whole. Now, the people who are dualists, shout out to all my dualistic people. I'm going to do another video breaking down dualism. Why, if you're truly woke, you need to be a dualist, okay? The people who are dualists will understand that there is no yin and yang. There's none. All there is just one. But because we live in a world that reeks of polarity, this is why we say yin and yang. But truly, there is none. There is no one without the other. They're one. In this world, this yin and yang manifests itself in feminine and masculine energy. One of the ways it manifests itself in humans is in men and women, okay? Women will be the physical manifestation of, I don't know which one is which, yin or yang, and then men will be the masculine manifestation of the other one, okay? And both of them have elements of each other in themselves. If you've seen the yin and yang symbols, you see the black has a white dot and the white has a black dot, because so that both of them can recognize each other when they see each other and they can become one, okay? Finding your way back home to yourself. Now, the beautiful thing about this love, though, is that you have to do it with yourself first. You have to be complete with yourself first, because you as an individual, doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, you have masculine and feminine energy. You must close that loop yourself first. Your yin within you must marry the yang within you first. Okay? Now, let me break it down even further. If you look at the yin and yang symbol, okay, there's a white and there's black, and then, with the dots and, whatnot. These are trivial, to me, but I'm trying to use this to break something down, to break it down to you. Let's say the white one represents the things about you that are good, and the black one represents things about you that are not good. These are things that you learn as a child, because as a child, you're not born with this knowledge of good or bad. You have no idea of anything. You just are. This is why Jesus said, let the children come to me, because the kingdom of God is for those who are like the children. Something like that, Chad. Kids are pure, okay? They don't know shit about ego. They just are. They don't give a fuck. It's just after they start learning that, this is good and that is bad. And as a result, the child will show you the good side and hide the bad side. Shout out to all the delusional ass parents who think their rotten ass kids are the best ever. Child fucking please. Your kids are rotten, just not in front of you, okay? In school, they do all kinds of fuck shit, but they act all cute and sweet and shit. Your kids are not dumb, okay? Get with the times, okay? Ooh, child, what a time to be alive. But anyway, they show you, they learned the yin and yang. They learned the white aspect. Like again, as a child, we've learned that white is good and black is bad. As a result, they hide the black aspect of themselves and show you the good aspect of themselves. But the thing is, even the white aspect, the good aspect of themselves, okay, I think there's a philosophical term about this. Chad, these flies, the white aspect of itself has the black aspect in it. There's a philosophical term for it that basically, I think there's a philosopher that says something along the lines that humans, no matter what good we do, we still do bad, no matter what it is. Even if you're getting on a plane to go to Africa on a mission trip, that plane is releasing carbon into the atmosphere, adding to global warming. So that will be the good, you going, okay, the white, and then the black, that dot will be the exhaust that you leave behind. That's why it has that black in it. Okay? Same thing too. Now, the yang, the black one, the bad side of you, also has good in it. Okay? This could be as a situation of you're doing something bad. You know that you're not supposed to do, because good and bad, right? Let's say you are, someone. I'm not trying to say the word. Unaliving someone, for example, right? It's evil. It's evil. But you're also doing an element of good because you are that person's karma without realizing it. Okay? Somebody who knows that person's track record may see like, oh, well, they got what they deserve. But you don't even realize that you've done good. Okay, that's why both of these have elements of the other. Chad, these fucking flies, I feel like I'm in Nigeria. Look on this. When him me no one guy. Oh, wait, look on this. A question I just chota me about I'm not. Flies came all the way from Abba. I didn't know Europe has flies. But anyway, this is why the yin and yang have both of them in itself, okay? Everything in the universe and beyond exudes yin and yang. And I mean everything. It is impossible for it to exist if it does not exude masculine and feminine energy. Men have masculine and feminine energy. Women have masculine and feminine energy. The oxygen molecules that you breathe in have masculine and feminine energy. The ones you breathe out doesn't matter anything as long as it exists. Take your imagination, push the limits of your imagination beyond life and death. God is masculine and feminine energy, and I'll break it down as to why God is masculine and feminine energy and why in this world most people refer to God as He. Part of it is because of patriarchy, but not necessarily. Okay? That's a whole nother conversation. If you know, you know. You must find your way back home within yourself first. You must marry the masculine and the feminine energy within yourself first. Meaning that you need to see, your eyes will open that there is no good nor bad. Both of them are one. You cannot have one without the other. Okay? We have been lied to since day one by the people who raised us. Let's give them grace because they didn't know any better. But child, time to heal is today. There's nothing wrong with you. You're exactly who you need to be. You're exactly where you need to be to run this thing called life. No mistake whatsoever. Okay? So, those things about you that the word tells you is good. Let's say people compliment you and say that you're good looking. You need to divorce that idea. You're not good looking. You're also not good looking. Because if you accept that you are good looking, by default, you accept that there is someone else that is not good looking, and you will react to that person accordingly. You can pretend that you don't think that person is not good looking, but you do. And I know this because of what you believe, that you are good looking. So therefore, the yang completes it. Watago? Do you understand? If you know, you know. Okay? You must marry the two. Now, that means not give moral judgment whatsoever. You must stay the fuck away from moral judgment. There's a difference between moral judgment and logic. Humans have the ability, logic. Have the gift of logic. You can see that someone is more attractive to you than not. But this is your perception, not necessarily objective perception. Again, like I mentioned before, as a human being, it is impossible for us to tap into objective reality. You can only perceive reality subjectively. So what you perceive is a reflection of you. So if you see somebody you find attractive, you find that person attractive. Doesn't mean the person is attractive or unattractive, and you react accordingly. That is your reality. You have to be realistic based on what you see, what you perceive, while being humble enough to realize that what you perceive is illusory. It's only a mere reflection of you, point blank, period. And then you have to navigate through that reality pragmatically. So there's a difference between being realistic and pragmatic. Being realistic, or realisticness, or realism, whatever the fuck. Being realistic is basically understanding the reality before you. That has nothing to do with you. This is just the reality before you, a projection of your subconscious. Pragmatism is how you move. You have to set a goal, and how you move to get to that goal based on the reality before you, which is a presentation, which is a manifestation of your subconscious. Okay? So no moral judgment whatsoever, but move and react accordingly. If you see someone that you believe is not attractive to you, don't pretend that they're attractive to you. But don't also shame that person and say that they are someone who is objectively ugly, because that is judgment. You don't have the power and authority to judge, because only mathematics, only the truth, only, I try to stay the fuck away from God, because that's also been bastardized. But let's use God, for example. Only God has access to objective reality that you don't have as a mere human being. So therefore, God will be able to say that that person is ugly or not. The same thing too is applicable in behavior. When you see someone doing something, you don't say what that person is doing is good or evil. I know this is very difficult. Trust me, it's very difficult. Because this is how we've been taught, good and bad, good and bad. But you don't know that. You have no idea. React accordingly. React accordingly, and the way to react is the way that comes most natural to you. Don't make excuses for someone. That's why they say another man's poison is another man's food, or something like that. It's just not your thing, okay? Let's say, for example, someone who stole something. Someone who stole something, a thief, got caught by the police and, being prosecuted and all kinds of shit. Don't give moral judgment. Trust me on this one. Do not give moral judgment. You have to fight it and fight it and fight it with all you got. Look, it's sad that this world, I'm not even going to act brand new because I know what's in the air, Chad. But I know damn well this world will not teach you these things because they need us to be dim enough for them to capitalize off our dimness, Chad. But that's another conversation. If you know, you know, bitch. There's some people who, it's not coincidence that most humans lack emotional intelligence. It's on purpose, okay? If you know, Chad. But when you see someone who is committing a crime, like the thief, for example, ask yourself, are you about that life? And be honest. This is your reality. This is what you perceive. Be honest. Are you about that life? Let's say the answer is no. Then react accordingly. This person is going in against what you believe. React accordingly. Stay away from that person if you need to. If karma brings you, if reality, whatever the situation brings you in alignment with that person, have interaction with that person in accordance to that. Like, for example, it can be something as simple as the person walks up to you and asks you, hey, what time is it? That is karma bringing you together to form 1 plus 1 equal 1 with that person. React accordingly. If you have the time, hey, it's 1 p.m., man. Have a good one. Move on. It's that simple. But the moment you open your mouth and start judging that person and say that that person is wrong or evil, you have failed. You get judged automatically by if you know, you know. The thing judging you is not other people. Okay, I think this is also written in the Bible. Judge not, for you be judged, or something like that. You get judged. The people judging you is not people. You shouldn't be worried about what people think about you, by the way, because people don't know shit. What is judging you is if you know, you know. The mathematics is judging you, or you can even get more esoteric and say that what's judging you is the Bible calls it watchers. Is it watchers? The host of yeah, there's a term the Bible use. Witnesses, host of witnesses. Okay, you can think of it as a literal way or not, but you're being watched at all times. You know, the host of witnesses is watching you. Mathematics is watching you, and they will know that the truth of God, the love of God, is not in you. So the reality, to reiterate, the reality is that this person is a thief. You know this. You don't need to pretend otherwise. You know this. This is the truth. Yeah, this is your truth. But then you also have to live in spirit, react accordingly, right? By treating that person accordingly. This person is not in alignment with what you believe. They are a non-believer to what you believe, and you treat them with love and react accordingly. You don't judge that person. You move the hell on with your life. Period. Because the moment you judge, it becomes obvious that you're not in the truth. You are not in love, okay? You must do this with yourself, within yourself. And I'm telling you, I put this on everything. This is not easy. I know I make it sound easy. I struggle with it too. And the reason why I struggle with it is because there's so much distractions and incentive to do the opposite, to be judgmental. Trust me, capitalism, if y'all understood how perverse capitalism is, child, if it's possible, I'll pack up my bags and leave this earth for y'all, child. Move to Pluto and call it a day. Oh, girl, I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna go that deep, child, before this thing cuts off. But anyway, my point is, you must do that within yourself too. Because every single time you judge someone, that is a reflection of the work you're yet to do within yourself. You must marry the yin and yang within you. Therapists call it shadow work, or spiritual therapists call it shadow work. You know, those nasty bits about yourself that mommy and daddy said are not good, society says it's not good, you must make peace with them. If you're a gay person, okay, the fact that you're in the closet tells me that you're not there yet. That's okay. That's fine. Keep working on your, no DL, chat. We don't do DL here. But closet, it's okay. Keep working on yourself. Your priority should not be trying to find a boyfriend. That should not be your priority. If you're in the closet, hold your ears, my gay people. Keep working on yourself. You're not there yet. You need to be healed within yourself first. You must be one whole within yourself first. Your yin and your yang must come together to marry first. Only then would you be complete enough in your own oneness to find another person who is also complete in their own oneness. Both of you become 1 plus 1 equals 1. The law of reciprocity states that you cannot give what you don't have, and you cannot receive what you don't give. So which means if you're not one whole within yourself, you will only receive brokenness back to you. Okay, toxic relationships, the volatile relationships, slap me, I slap you back relationships. That thing you feel inside of you that just is not right, that's because you're not complete within yourself. I'm telling you, unless you heal within yourself that 1 plus 1 equals 1 within yourself first, you will not find it in someone else. And once you do that, you will speak the language of love. This is called emotional intelligence, empathy, the ability to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, the ability to regulate your own emotions and see from somebody else's perspective. Okay? So when you see somebody who is talking all ghetto and loud and using fucking bitch and all this, language and things like that, you from the suburb, the first thing you want to do is like, so ghetto, so this and that. But hey, in truth and in spirit, with humility, with intentionality, with emotional intelligence, with love in your heart, you put yourself in that person's situation. Where were they born? Who raised them? What you see is a reflection of their reality that is not yours. And you have compassion. You treat them accordingly. It's okay. If you're not comfortable with the F word and profanity and all those things, by the way, I define profanity different, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna do an episode breaking down what I call profanity. I don't call F words profanity. That's not profanity to me. But if you believe that's profanity, that's okay. If you believe that it is not right for you, that's your belief, to use those profane words or be around people who believe otherwise, react accordingly. Do not mingle with non-believer, but don't look down on them. Show them the respect in knowing that they are for someone else, not for you. And may God be with them as they meet their person, and may God be with them as they become 1+1 with that person, equals 1 with that person, while you are your own 1+1 with your own person, and move the hell on with your life, no judgment. When you see a gay person, you don't have to pretend to know gay, because that's not your reality. You cannot understand what it is about two gay men, two men attracted to each other, or two women attracted to each other. That's okay. That is not your reality. React to them accordingly. The gay person doesn't understand your reality either. But if you have to mingle with this person in a platonic way, in a superficial way, in a, business way, deal with them accordingly. Don't judge and move the hell on with your life. When you do this, everything looks different to you because you have overcome the temptation of polarity. You come to see there is no white, there is no black, there is no good, there is no bad. There is no good, there is no evil. There just is. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot is forever hidden from you. Because dot, dot, dot is objective reality. And what you got is subjective reality. Be humble enough to understand that. React accordingly. Be as pragmatic and intentional as possible. React accordingly, and you will be okay with no hate in your heart. Because only God knows. If indeed that gay person is wrong, karma will meet up with them. God will catch up to them. If indeed that person is truly ugly, God will deal with them. If indeed the thief is a bad person, karma, God will deal with them. It ain't your job. Conserve your energy because you have enough energy to go through this life. If you waste that energy on things that have nothing to do with you, you will burn out and you will not be able to maximize this thing called life. Deo. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? If you have that kind of love within you, okay, within you first, you will speak in tongues. You will be in a trance. But you know the thing? Not to you. To the people who don't speak the language, you're in trance. You will come off as weird as shit. Sometimes some people will even see you talking to yourself. You look crazy as hell. You do all kinds of things that the word doesn't understand. Like, what the fuck? What is this dude doing? Bro, you meant to tell me that you got accepted to Harvard and you left that behind? To go do some mission work in some village in Africa? Bitch, are you slow? Like, what is wrong with you? You meant to tell me you turned down $1 million deal in this economy? Are you okay? Is this person okay? Are you okay? That's because you're living your life in your truth and in your spirit. In your truth, making peace with what is. And the spirit, the mathematics, the mirror right in front of you is guiding you. You will speak in tongues. But the interesting thing is the people who are also in love, like you, will understand exactly what you're doing. When you speak, we will understand each other. Oh, I get it. You ain't got to try it. When you tell me that you got into Harvard and you turned it down, oh, I understand. I'll probably ask more questions. And when you speak in, I understand. You telling me that you turned this down or this and this and that looks weird to people, and you speak and I ask questions and you speak, I understand. You will speak in tongues. You will be your own one wholeness. And the beauty of it is you will find your yang, and both of you and your partner, your boo. Doesn't matter if you're both men, both women, doesn't matter. You will speak the language of love. And when people who don't understand your love see your love, they will say your love is blind, but it's blind to them. Because just like the person that is ordering the french fries extra crispy and the burger, why are you ordering french fries and extra crispy burger in the middle of the wilderness during a fucking war? What is going on with them? That's what they hear. They're blind to your love. But you and your boo, you understand each other because you got real love. And you can see this, you apply this to every fucking situation. And I mean everything. If you say you love someone, if you say you know love, if you say you know love within your own soul, and you love yourself unapologetically, and you love your boo unapologetically, the same way you love yourself, and you don't extend that love to everything, you are a damn lie. If you know, you know. Everything. And I mean everything. If you believe you have love in your heart, and you go to a park where you know that everyone is using, and you carelessly trash that park, there is no love in your heart. If you believe that what you have in your heart of heart is love for your boo, for your husband, for your wife, or whatever the situation is, but you treat your neighbor like shit, or your maid like shit, your servant, your slave like shit, there is no love in you. You a damn fucking lie. If you know, you know. Because what comes from within you is deep. You have married the yin and yang within you. Because in that love, you will see everything for what it really is. You will see the perversion of this world, and you just become more close up to this world. Like, you just roll your eyes. You see the news media, the articles, and, the news media is all intentionally bullshit. You see, matter of fact, Chad, if you know, you know, bitch. If you, whoo, girl, let me stop before they come from me. You will see how all this shit is theatrics. The really intelligent people in this world, if you know, you know. If you know, you know that they're giving you a show. Okay, let's use global warming for example. The uber rich people don't give a fuck about no global warming. They don't give two fucks because they believe something different. But they know you believe in global warming, so they give you a show. If you know, you know. They're not trying to save the fucking planet. They understand the assignment. The assignment is survival, and they're going to survive with or without you. They're just capitalizing off of you to make sure they survive. Not them, of course. Their offsprings. Because Earth is dying. The Earth will be okay, Chad. But Earth is dying for human survivability, if though you want to call it that. It's coming. Time will come. Human will become extinct. But a consciousness is not going to be extinct. The uber rich, they're trying to make sure their children and their children and their children and their children's children make it on that ark. And they know that y'all are freaking out. So they're giving you a show to capitalize off of you, to make enough money, to make sure that their offsprings make it on that ark when time comes. If you know, you know, Chad. Ooh, girl. Let me stop. So going back to the language of if you know, you know, compared to English, the only way you can communicate in English with someone else who speaks English is if you have mastered English. I sound like a crazy human being. You have to master English. And the person speaking to you, hopefully they've also mastered English. And both of you can now speak English. You have to do it within yourself first. And the way to learn this language is in the... Look, trust me, I think there's a Bible verse that says something along the lines of, His divine power has given you everything you need. That's true. God has given us everything we need. And there's no mistake, bro. There's no mistake. The way to learn the language of if I'm holding back tears right now because this shit is so powerful. The way to master the language of if you know, you know, is deep within you. It is the most simplest thing within you. Not within me. Not you won't find it in church. You won't find it with your mom. You won't find it with anyone. It's inside of you. See, it's hard to get to it because of this world. This world will come for you. You need to limit encounter with a lot of people. You need to limit a lot of people. Some of these people y'all call friends. Remember, okay? Jesus, the most powerful person in this world, only had 12 disciples. Why you got 1 million followers? Why do you feel like you need 1 million friends? Why do you feel like you need Chad? That's another conversation. The world will distract you with so much perversion, so much bullshit, so you don't sit with the most simplest truth within you. You need to limit encounter with the world, limit encounter with a lot of people, limit encounter with a lot of things. Focus on you. Keep going. And humility is the vehicle that will get you there. Humility. Be as if you can get more humble, you're not there yet. Keep going. Even I remind myself this because I can't be the preacher who leads people to heaven and I burn in hell. I think that's also somewhere in the Bible, Chad. I have to remind myself this all the time. Keep going and don't you stop. Once you do this, you speak the language of if you know, you know. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? When you speak, when you live your life in truth and in spirit, I'm telling you, this is how effortless this shit is. This is how simple it is. I swear to God, I'm holding back tears. Once you live your life in truth and in spirit, the most simplest of you speak in tongues. The beautiful thing about it, remember what I said about life? Humans can only perceive reality subjectively, never objectively. When you speak the language of if you know, you know, anyone who watches you, anyone who listens to you will hear exactly a projection of them, not you. That means the serpent that is in this world is paying attention to you. Trust me on this one, Chad. The serpent, the devil, the ego, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? Is paying attention to you. When the ego, when the devil, when the serpent, when your haters, the enemy, doesn't matter whoever, whatever the fuck you want to call it, listens to you speak, what they get back is them, not you. You will always, forever be protected 100%. And you perform in this life. See, you're not even trying to perform. You come off as performative to the haters. They'll say, "Oh, he's fake. Oh, she's this. Oh, she thinks that she's better than everybody. Oh, he think he a real bad bitch or he a real nigga, whatever the fuck it is." But you're not trying to do any of those things. You just are, simple as you are. And what's bouncing off of you to them is a reflection of them. And the people who speak the language of if you know, you know, they will see your light. You will glow from within, and you will recognize their light when they come to you. Make sure you test their spirits, Chad. Better test people's spirit, because there's a whole lot of sheep and wolf in sheep clothing, Chad. If you know, you know. Test their light. If you do not recognize the dot in your yin and yang in them, they're not for you. Run. Okay, because same pattern. Okay, yin and yang. If you don't recognize them in you, and if they don't recognize you in them, run. That is not of God. Run. You have to test their spirit. Run far the fuck away. If you see how I block people, even with some of these compliments, Chad, please. You think, did I come to this at this edge today? All the things I've been through, I beg. Run. You will speak the language of love. I'm almost done. The only vehicle, I promise you this, the only vehicle, listen really carefully. I hope my phone doesn't die. The only vehicle that can lead you to the language of if you know, you know, is humility. That's it. Okay? Like think about it from literal perspective. Someone who's trying to learn English, you have to go to an English speaking country or buy Rosetta Stone or whatever the fuck it is, right? You cannot learn English on your own. It's impossible. You have to give yourself, there's so many different avenues or vehicles that can lead you there. But I'm telling you, the language of if you know, you know. The language of Morse code, the language of love language, the language of speaking in tongues, there's only one vehicle. Humility. I'm telling you, if you can get more humble, you're not there yet. Keep going. The reason why you must go with humility at all times is because in being your truest self, you tap into the mathematics of the universe and beyond 100%. You speak everybody's language 100%, including the language of the devil. The devil will not understand you, though, because the devil is the Antichrist. The Antichrist, in the world of the Antichrist, everything in this realm exists except one thing only: humility. The devil lacks humility. Remember in the Bible what it says, the Bible says something along the lines, the devil wants to be like God, or, the pride of the devil led to the fall of the devil because he wanted to be like God. The devil lacks humility. Imagine something that doesn't exist in this world. Imagine, just think about it, something. Imagine a color that doesn't exist. You can't even imagine it. Exactly. That's also how the devil imagines humility. That word doesn't exist in its realm at all. It doesn't know that you know what you know. It has no idea. And all you have to do is be in humility. That becomes your shield, 100%. The devil thinks you're dancing to its rhythm. You are performing to the devil, but the devil doesn't know that you're performing. And you're not even trying to perform. You just are. It's like me, for example. Just be Iykyk. There are some people who say I'm pretending to be gay. So there's some people who say I'm trying so hard to be American. I'm trying so hard to, for Americans to like me and all kinds of stupid shit. But I'm not performing. To them, it looks performative. And it could be performance. I can tell you that I'm not performing, but you don't know that. The only person who knows that is me. But I'm telling you, I'm giving my word that I'm living my life in my truth and in my spirit. This is Iykyk because I'm too lazy to be anything else, Chad. And I love me, damn. Too damn much. I love me too damn much to give a fuck about what anybody else trying to impress somebody else, Chad. That's just me keeping it all the way real. But as long as you have humility, you are forever protected. Because with humility, once you are in humility, you speak the language of everyone. 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 Anyone who listens to you, anyone who watches you will take away exactly what their karma bounces right back off of you while you are living the most simplest life ever. And what I go? Humility. Even I remind myself all the time, that shit is hard. Okay? But you can do it. Limit encounter with certain people, you know damn well who I'm talking about. The simplest truth is inside of you. If you feel that discomfort, they're not your people. Not yet. Maybe in the future. Keep working on yourself. That job, keep looking for another one. That relationship, look for a way out. Do it with love. If you don't know how, there are people who are specialized, therapists, coaches. I'm a life coach. If you're interested in booking me, theuykyk.com. Check out my website. I do a damn good job. theuykyk.com. But you don't have to come to me if you don't believe me. There are people who are specialized in helping you overcome, but you have to be intentional in going home to yourself. If you don't know, but you want to know, you can. Put in the work. Go home to yourself first. Speak the language of love, Morse code, the language of love, the language of if you know, you know. And you will forever be set free in this world and beyond. If not, stay in hell. Iykyk, peace and love.